Listen to Sergio Sanchez every morning on News Talk 710 KURV and on the Radio Parami app. Stay informed with exclusive interviews from top local and state leaders, plus economic development news, business, and medical reports, and all the local news from the RGV. It's everything you need to know to start your day right. Sergio Sanchez and News Talk 710 KURV on the free Radio Parami app. Download it now.
Kilmar Abrego Garcia.
That's Fox's Jared Halpern. At the White House today, Italy's Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni.
She's the first European leader to sit down face-to-face with the president since he implemented and then paused 20% tariffs on European exports. And they do really share a good relationship. So today she's going to be working to preserve that while also seeing if she can sway Trump on a zero-for-zero tariff deal that the European Union is seeking. The Wall Street Journal writes this: Meloni's broader goal is to keep the U.S. firmly anchored to Europe, positioning herself as a potential bridge between Western allies. As the rhetoric from Washington turned increasingly antagonistic, the Italian premier has tried to keep the continent in Trump's good graces, urging her European colleagues to avoid confrontation.
Fox's Alexandria Hoff. The Trump administration is threatening to stop Harvard University from enrolling foreign students unless it turns over visa holders' disciplinary records. America's listening to Fox News.
It's tax season. By now, we're all a bit tired of numbers, but here's one you need to hear. $16.5 billion. That's how much money in refunds the IRS flagged for possible identity fraud last year. Now, here's a good number, $100 million. That's how many data points LifeLock monitors every second. If your identity's stolen, they'll fix it guaranteed. Save up to 40% in your first year with promo code CLAY. Visit LifeLock.com. That's LifeLock.com, promo code CLAY. Terms apply.
What up, fellow Gen Xers? Elizabeth Banks here. As the original Latchkey kids, we took things into our own hands, like house keys and video game controllers. And now it's time for us to do it again, because the recommended age to get vaccinated against pneumococcal pneumonia has been lowered to 50 and older, even if you're healthy. We're at over 6 times greater risk compared to adults under 50. So go to Vaxassist.com and schedule. Gen X, this is our shot. Sponsored by Pfizer.
This week's Centers for Disease Control report showing higher autism rates says some of the increase is just due to more awareness and diagnosis, and it can run in families. Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr., though, says it's preventable.
Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is dismissing the idea that autism rates are being fueled by genetic factors, saying that genes do not cause epidemics. And the explosion of autism, for which the CDC says 1 in 31 children were diagnosed in 2022, up dramatically from 1 in 5,000 in the 1960s.
We have to recognize we are doing this to our children, and we need to put an end to it.
Secretary Kennedy now commissioning never-done-before studies to identify environmental toxin exposures like pesticides, food chemicals, medicines, even ultrasound technology as a potential cause of the autism epidemic, saying he should have an answer by September. Jeff Manasso, Fox News.
The Texas legislature is advancing plans for a taxpayer-funded school voucher program providing about $10,000 a year for private school tuition or $2,000 toward homeschooling costs. The program is capped at $1 billion for the first year, going up from there. Football coach Bill Belichick's 24-year-old girlfriend will compete in the Miss Maine USA contest against the pageant's first transgender woman.
Among those competing against Jordan Hudson, Isabel St. Cyr, the first transgender person to try for the state title. St. Cyr, who is a farm owner, telling the Bangor Daily News she wants to show everyone that trans women can do well in the pageant. Hudson's boyfriend, the former New England Patriots head coach, is now UNC's head football coach. Gary Baumgarten, Fox News.
Actress Michelle Trachtenberg's death is reported as complications from diabetes by the New York City Medical Examiner's Office. She was 39 years old, found unresponsive in her apartment in February. I'm Chris Foster, Fox News.
News Talk 710 KURV, broadcasting from the Valley's All-American Truck Headquarters studio at PayneAutomall.com.
Happy Thursday. It is April 17th, 2025. You're in tune with the Valley's Morning News, along with show producer Fred Cruz, and we got AccuWeather meteorologist Jeffrey Nordine on standby. I'm Sergio Sanchez. That $1 billion education savings program, the proposal in Austin for about 100,000 Texas students, continues to move forward in the Texas capital. But Texas voters will not be called on to participate in this issue in a referendum. It was just a few hours back that the Texas House shot down a Democrat proposal to call for a referendum on this issue. The failed proposal was offered as an amendment to Senate Bill 2, which would provide the vouchers, the billion-dollar voucher program. The measure failed on mostly party lines. The education savings account measure continues to move forward in the Texas House. Protesters want leaders at IDEA Edinburgh Academy to do more to protect students against bullying. There were dozens of protesters that showed up at the Edinburgh campus and demanded that IDEA school officials do more to address bullying after the mother of a student saying that he was assaulted during lunch and that no one stepped in to help. The student was injured. Edinburgh PD is investigating. IDEA schools releasing a statement saying that they do not condone bullying or violence. The Texas Senate has approved legislation that would restrict the type of flags that can be displayed in Texas classrooms.
Senate Bill 762, sponsored by State Rep Donna Campbell, passed with a vote of 23-8. Under this bill, the specific flags allowed for display in a classroom include the U.S., state, college, or military-related flags. SB 762 does not allow for the rainbow pride flag to be displayed in class or the Confederate flag. Violators could face a $500 per day fine. The State House will take up this bill next.
Christian Yates with that report. Last year's pro-Palestinian and pro-Hamas protests at various universities nationwide, including some Texas colleges, that might be changing policy at Texas schools.
Lawmakers looking to make it illegal for students to support terrorist groups. State Rep Adam Hinojosa says the first arrest would lead to a 1-year suspension,
and a second violation may lead to expulsion or termination.
He wants to make a list of those arrested for being part of protests. If they're faculty, they would be fired and banned from future employment. The legislation comes amid a nationwide crackdown on student protests. President Trump is threatening to pull hundreds of millions of dollars in funding from Ivy League universities.
UT-RTV officials confirming earlier this month that 9 students had their student visas revoked by the government. No word if any of these students were involved in pro-Hamas or pro-Palestinian protests. No word on that. But now 4 University of Texas Rio Grande Valley students are suing the federal government over the recent decision to pull their education visas. 3 are in Edinburgh, and there's 1 in Brownsville. Time is 7:08 on News Talk 710 KURV. It is AccuWeather time, and AccuWeather meteorologist Jeffrey Nordine joining us. I want to say thank you to Dougie and all the gang at Martin Farm and Ranch in Edinburgh for providing us 7 o'clock AccuWeather. Purina Feed, it's the best. That's why Dougie and all the gang at Martin Farm and Ranch, they carry Purina Feed. They're a certified dealer for Purina Feed, and they got some great deals for you. You stop by, say hi to Dougie from us. Meteorologist Jeffrey Nording, 7 o'clock numbers. What you got, Jeffrey?
Well, we're at 73 in Brownsville, also in McAllen. Harlingen's at 70. Excuse me, Weslaco is 72, and Edinburgh 70.
I noticed the mid-90s today, tomorrow, and then by Sunday, upper 80s. So what's going on? Upper 80s on Sunday.
Just a slight little change in temp. That's about it. The winds are still pretty steady, so it's just a little bit of a dip is all.
Okay. You still calling for maybe some rain on Monday, midweek next week as well?
Monday morning, tapering off by the afternoon, and then Tuesday and into Wednesday night, we're going to see some showers and storms. But the intensity has decreased a little, but not completely. And you knew that this was going to happen in some way, shape, or form, but at least we kept it in.
Yeah.
So give me that at least.
Yeah, well, it's the weather computer version of clickbait. They just kind of reel you in a little bit, and then slam.
Clickbait, he calls this.
They clack. Yeah. Okay, Texas travel weather. We got some families leaving town. Go see some family and friends this holiday weekend. So what you got for Texas?
Texas travel is pretty good today, and then tomorrow initially during the daytime hours is good too. We're going to see temps generally in the mid to upper 80s and low 90s. Tomorrow night into Saturday, some showers and thunderstorms push through, and some of those could be on that strong to severe side. Dallas seeing them around on tomorrow night and Saturday. Sunday, more or less spotty. For Houston, it'll be pretty steady from Saturday onward. well into next week. It's kind of the same for San Antonio, too.
It's here. Checking the menu. It's National Crawfish Day. So boil them up. Get a bit.
Never had.
And it's National Cheese Ball Day as well.
Oh, I need to go buy more.
Crusty goodness on the outside, flaky, maybe nutty on the outside, and then take a bite into it. All the cheesy on the inside.
Oh, wait. Are you talking about like make your own like fried cheese balls?
No. I suppose so, right? You got
like a mozzarella cheese ball, kind of like a cheese curd, but
yeah. I was thinking, I was like you know how they sell it at the local grocery store? They get like a ball of cheese and they'll put a bunch of flaky nuts or cereal type of crunchy stuff on the outside. That's being celebrated today. I suppose you could do the whole cheese ball thing like the Cheetos version, right? That would also.
Yeah, I mean there is, from Oots. The Oots.
Oh, the UTZ.
Yeah,
Oots, right. Yeah,
I'm pretty sure it's Oots. It's not Utz.
Yeah, it's the brand.
Freddie's laughing at me.
It's the cheaper Cheetos. That's what it is. Yeah. The Oots. Yeah. All right, pal. We'll check in with AccuWeather meteorologist Jeffrey Nordine. And again, highs today should be, around mid-90s. That is your AccuWeather forecast. Hello, Dougie. Thank you for AccuWeather, 7 o'clock. If you purchase some of that stuff coming in from China through some of the websites like Shein and Temu, where's the Temu, Freddie? It's Temu, right? Price is going up next week because, the new tariffs on China. President Trump has also ended a duty-free exemption for stuff coming in from China that's worth less than $800. Back to Texas. Some lawmakers say there should be no more fluoride injected into drinking water.
Texas dentist blasting the proposed removal of fluoride, saying this is fueled by social media misinformation.
Elected officials are tasked with protecting the public health of their constituencies. Fluoridation is a safe and effective method of doing so.
Dr. Shaylee Gupta with the Texas Dental Association told lawmakers that putting fluoride in the water is no more harmful than iodine in salt or calcium in orange juice. And she tore into activists saying that when it was removed in Buffalo, it was so bad for kids' oral health that parents successfully sued to get it back.
There's a new poll from Quinnipiac University saying that Americans have conflicting views when it comes to artificial intelligence. About 40% of participants in the poll saying that they think our AI is going to cause more harm than good. Back to the Valley, back to the bridge at Pharr, U.S. Customs Border Protection saying they stopped another huge drug shipment of meth. Inspectors at the International Bridge at Pharr saying this time they found about 1,000 pounds of suspected meth in a shipment of squash, street value $9 million. A few days back, the inspectors there found a shipment of meth that was estimated about $14 million. It's 7:14 on News Talk 710 KURV. And it's time to play some football at UTRGV, the new football program in the Valley. Crossing another milestone, the Vaqueros holding their first spring game at Brownsville Veterans Memorial Stadium. Sold out game, they say. And I was asking Freddie, so who are they playing? So I say A squad against the B squad, against the practice squad, against anyone wanting to suit up and play against them, right? No, it's A squad against B squad, one of those, sir. You said it's like the A offense against the B defense, and then the B offense against the A defense, something like that. Yeah. That's the way it works. All right. Time is 7:14. This is News Talk 710 KURV, Valley's morning news for a Thursday. Going to share with you a conversation with Teclo Garcia, the Chief of Economic Development Efforts in Mission. That Ruby Red venture, that competition is coming up. They're still looking for applicants. They want more participants in their Shark Tank style competition for Valley business. That's next on the Valley's Morning News.
Give your liver the support it needs with Active Liver. Go to NewNordicusa.com, Amazon, or ask for Active Liver at your local CVS. New you, New Nordic.
Did you know Mighty Mike's Plumbing, Electrical, and HVAC also does duct cleaning?
Here, Feathers, guess what?
Tea.
Coffee. You know I don't like tea.
Oh, no. Mighty Mike's offers duct cleaning to make sure your ducts are clean and system running efficiently to save you money. Now is a great time for duct cleaning, so just call 956-686-1353.
Oh, I found callmightymike.com. They do all HVAC services and more.
Except that, but they do duct cleaning. Get your system done. Mighty Mike's to the rescue.
If you're looking to improve your overall health and have a better quality of life, Dr. T's Primary Care is the place to go. If you feel tired or stressed or less motivated, if you're moody or if you have trouble sleeping, Dr. T's Primary Care will evaluate you and work with you to address your health concerns, including testosterone or menopause treatment, peptide treatment, IV vitamin infusions. Their licensed staff will take the time to listen to you and work with you to improve your overall health. Check out the website, drtsprimarycare.com. Give them a call in McAllen at 956-803-0058 in Harlingen, 956-368-5247.
Charlie Kirk here, host of The Charlie Kirk Show, inviting you to stay tuned for The Sergio Show with Sergio Sanchez, coming up a little later on this morning starting at 9 on News Talk 710 KURV.
News Talk 710 KURV is your one and only radio station in all of South Texas for Houston Astros play-by-play. Big thank you to the Mission Economic Development Office for all the play-by-play. Big thanks as well to Dr. T's Primary Care for Men and Women. Economic status report for the city, our city of Mission, as News Talk 710 KURV is located right here in Mission, Texas, at Taylor and Business 83, as you can see, as we do the X Live and the Facebook Live as well. We're speaking with Teclo Garcia. Sometimes they call him Techno Garcia, but he brings a yes attitude. He's tech yes as far as economic development in the area. Let's start with Ruby Red Ventures and that effort to fund some entrepreneurs and businesses in the area. So
yes, always good to be here on the southwest corner of Taylor and Business Day 3 in Mission, Texas.
In Mission, Texas, that's right. You walk across the street, you hit McAllen.
Right,
so we'll stay on this side of the railroad tracks.
Hey, great to talk to y'all and talk to you, Sergio, about Ruby Red Ventures. Great question. The Ruby Red Ventures, the competition that we have three versions of Ruby Red Ventures, and this one is the competition part. This is our Shark Tank-like competition. This is how we started. When we began this about 9 years ago. And so the competition is what you would think new businesses under 2 years old or startups that put in their applications for about 10 to 12 slots with UTRGV and the Kauffman Institute and us to begin training. Entrepreneurship, small business training, all the ins and outs for 6 weeks. And after that 6 weeks is done, then the small business can choose to compete for funding. And we have about $50,000 that those businesses can compete for. Last year, we had 10 folks that were accepted into the program. 7 chose to compete. The other 3 did not, but they walked away with training, right? And so then of those, we chose 3 winners. $25,000, $15,000, and $10,000 for the top 3 businesses formed by a committee that included some board members, some private sector people, and small business owners. And then we chose the best. And they got to pitch to us.
There we go. That's the Shark Tank version of the competition. So how many folks do you have at that board or the judges table that
I think we
make
have
the decision?
I think we have 5 judges.
Okay, it's about the same, but 4 to 5 on the Shark Tank.
And so and they're making their pitch.
So do we have a pelon like Kevin O'Leary? They have Mr. Wonderful. We have Mr. Okay, something like
Mark
that.
Cuban.
Mark Cuban. Yeah, you have anybody to play the communist Cuban with some nice hair but totally clueless guy say, "Oh, I like what you can have." That would be the final part of this competition to figure out who gets the cash.
It creates a lot of excitement. It creates some goodwill in the city. And at the end of the day, we're funding small businesses who can create jobs or at least maintain them and maybe get to launch a new idea. I want to tell you just very quickly about one from last year. I think the gentleman won won second place. And he created this gentleman is legally blind, and his idea was to create a business that would produce labels for the blind for clothing, because a blind person typically, when they or one that lacks sight, if they're going to go grab a shirt, how do they know if it's extra large? They can kind of feel, or is it large, or is it small or medium? Well, what's the size difference? So he would put Braille labels on these clothes, or produce them for apparel makers, so a person who's challenged with vision issues can be able to tell what they're buying.
Interesting,
right? And so he's here in Mission doing this, right?
He's still up and running.
Yeah, in fact he put his website up. It's called Through My Eyes Apparel, and he's with the funding he was able to create his website, to buy some machinery and other things. But really good ideas, man.
You don't take. Yes, there are some very courageous, innovative, young and old business people. I would love to have him here at the studio and explain to us what he does, some of the clients that he's working with. Please do. Teclo Garcia, Director of Mission Economic Development. We've got the Ruby Red Ventures competition to try to provide some, in some cases, might be seed money or some continuing operation money for some of the avant-garde businesses in the area. So the more courageous ones are king candidates for the
we'll keep receiving applicants through the 25th of this month, and so there's still time. There's still time for people to look at.
Just go to the Ruby?
Go to the Mission EDC website. Look for the Ruby Red Ventures tab, and pull down the application and start filling it out.
Median household income was something that you were texting me about the other day. You sent me a couple of numbers. You want to share what you found as far as us in Mission?
Man, now everyone knows we text.
Yeah, well, or we're texting to complain about how the Astros are doing or how good they're doing. Either or.
Yeah, no, it's a very fascinating stats for Mission for the Valley, right? Median household income is what everyone together in that household makes, and for Mission, it's $60,813 according to the U.S. Census 2023. Right, that's the latest figures that are out.
Okay,
and sometimes it takes them a little bit of time to put these together, but that's among the big cities in the Valley. That's the highest of all the cities. So McAllen is at 60,165.
What's driving that, Teclo?
Well, honestly. Look, we've had a lot of improvement in wages in the Valley, in Texas in general. We continue to create jobs. We continue to create jobs that pay more.
That's the highest in the Valley?
Yeah, 60,000.
Mission, we're at 60K plus.
60K plus. McAllen's also at 60K 100. Where it's
right next door to
us. But give or take the margin of error, they're about the same, right?
Yeah.
And then Texas is at 76. And so while it's a bragging point for us.
We're pretty close. That's not bad. That is not bad. For being in the Valley?
and we have to, still get after it. Edinburgh's 57. Harlingen's at 56. Farr is at 49. Brownsville's at 48.
Wow. That was going to be my question. I was getting there. Now, Brownsville is the metamorphosis taking place at the coast is ridiculous.
Incredible.
It's awesome. It is awesome.
Right.
With Brownsville, the MSA, Brownsville Harlingen MSA, #1 in tech jobs and all those things. Of course, Elon Musk is the driver there, but all these engineers and the rocket factory, the port of Brownsville,
we have a guy in our seed building here in Mission that is SpaceX's cement guy. So he has an office here with a couple of people that run his business.
You had another guy that was like the vending machine guy for SpaceX, and now you got the cement guy for SpaceX.
So it just shows you that this is widespread, right? That SpaceX's impact is not just over there. But I mean, it also depends. Like you could have 600 people working at SpaceX, but maybe only half live in Brownsville. Then their incomes are counting somewhere else and not in Brownsville, right?
There we go.
And Brownsville is a big city and is also challenged by some issues, but we all are, right? And so, I mean, there's little like pockets of high incomes around the Valley. Like the very highest income for a community, they're not even a city, is Progresso Lakes. over by Weslaco by the Progreso Bridge, right? They're like at 95,000.
Yeah,
and their population
such a
is
small
300.
enclave.
Yes.
Oh, there it goes.
And then
the entire city is a gated
Palmhurst.
community.
Yeah, you're right.
What's the code? Drive by Progreso Lakes.
Palmhurst is at 92,000, and they're about population like 3,000 or 4,000, something like that. So there's pockets of really high incomes like that, but we're proud of that, and I know the mayor, especially the county judge, and others are working to drive down the poverty rate. And again, we have a ways to go, but Mission has the lowest poverty rate among the big cities in the valley.
Nice.
We're
Very
at
nice.
17%. Others are in their 20s and so forth, but we still have work to do.
Well, yeah, and we know that the path of least resistance would be to get some industry and more jobs. And I know your office and friends and family, amigos, EDC office, Edinburgh, McAllen, Harlingen, Brownsville, tip of this, Weslaco, working real hard to try to land some of that. I want to ask you, I want to
Yes,
get your
sir.
impression real quick.
Yes.
Teclo Garcia, Mission Economic Development. Want to get your quick impression. We had, we were joking about this, nos da envidia with NVIDIA announcing Dallas and Houston, big high-tech computer, supercomputer manufacturing coming to Texas. Great. That's awesome. Houston, Dallas, they got name recognition. Here in the Valley with the push of Realplex, we've got land, people, educational assets, the colleges, the university. We got it all, man. We're ready to go. The problem is, we need to get on their radar, something like that. We're primed to get something high tech. And this time when we got billions of dollars coming in from overseas, they want to build in the United States of America. I just want to get your quick thoughts on big industry, especially high tech coming to Texas. We need to land something like that. Maybe with locking arms with other EDC entities and the Realplex concept, maybe we can get there as quick as possible to try to land something like that.
Yeah, I think that them being in Texas is, first of all, great, right? They're coming to DFW.
Originally from California, by the way, the NVIDIA people. Bringing
NVIDIA, the CEO, went to Oregon State. He's a Beaver. He's doing a great thing by expanding. I think they're like by value, they're like the third largest company in the country now.
Wow.
And so they really do have something going, momentum. In terms of the Valley, and this is just my opinion, there's a lot of Valley leaders wiser than I that understand this stuff. We definitely need to keep trying. We need to create a plan on how to do this, right? That and some of it I think can be done, right? And I want to be optimistic, and I don't want to be too pessimistic. But there are challenges, right? One is our education levels here, right? If a company like that comes into town, we obviously don't have the number. Maybe Austin and Houston, Dallas don't either. But people will move there for those jobs. It's a challenge to get people to engineers of the highest level to move to the Valley for a job.
Understood.
Yeah, and the company needs to be, as you mentioned, land. Okay, we have right. We have a workforce. I think it still needs to be upskilled quite a bit from where we're at
Houston.
now.
I would argue Houston and Dallas and Austin also need to be upskilled.
They do, but they have bigger numbers than we do, so they have more skilled people than we do.
A bigger pool.
Yes,
in other
exactly.
words.
Yes,
Yeah,
and a lot of there's other factors that are really important to some of these companies. I don't know what they all are, but things like air connections, right? Interstate access, not being too far out of the way. Houston and Dallas are in a triangle. Some of those are fair, some of those are unfair, but those are some of the things we have to deal with.
Well, as I sometimes joke, the gang in the press up in New York say, "Hey, first time I talked with you, Serge, where's McAllen?" I said, we're the southernmost suburb of Houston. We're only 5 hours south of downtown." But maybe some feeder industry suppliers or some other, because NVIDIA is not standalone. There's multiple components and other things that would depend on. I think that now that they're in Houston, especially Houston, so close to us, and Dallas, they're in Texas, maybe this is the time to go door knock and say, what do you need as far as support service? We'll truck it up to you or fly it up to you, one of those things.
Yeah, can we do some of your back shop? Can we do some of your part making? Can we help you in some other way, right?
10-4.
And then some of that stuff is being produced in Mexico. Maybe some in the future, maybe more will be produced in Mexico, and we're in between the two.
Yeah, it's all of a sudden real popular to be manufacturing in the United States of America again.
Yeah.
So advantage us, and I would hope we're able to catch some of that.
Yeah, for sure.
Anything else before I let you go, Teco?
No, we keep working, on navigating the trade situation, right? The tariffs. A lot of people in the industry think that we can get through this. No one really likes it. It's kind of chaotic right now. They're giving back and forth, but maybe it'll settle in 6, 7 months, 8 months from now, and we can start moving forward with some certainty. Because that's really the thing. It's a certainty for business, right?
Looking forward for that dust to settle. Thank you, Teclo, for stopping by. Check in with us here in a few weeks. Teclo Garcia from the Mission Economic Development Office. News Talk 710 KURV is your station in South Texas for Astros baseball. So they're traveling today. They'll be back home against the red-hot Padres. Astros baseball, all the play-by-play on News Talk 710 KURV. Big thank you to the Mission Economic Development Office. Big thank you as well to Dr. T's Primary Care for Men and Women.
When today is unpredictable, you need sound advice and strong support to help you stay focused on your long-term financial goals for tomorrow. Ameriprise Financial has been guiding clients through challenging times for over 125 years. You can take comfort in working with a financial advisor who's backed by that strong experience and who's there to guide you with personalized, goal-based financial advice. Together, you and your Ameriprise Financial Advisor can plan your future while navigating your now. Call Ameriprise Financial Advisor David Barnes today at 956-772-4200. That's 956-772-4200. Office is located at 3008 North McCall Road, Suite B, McAllen, Texas. Not FDIC or NCUA insured. No financial institution guarantee. May lose value. Ameriprise Financial Services, LLC. Member FINRA and SIPC. Call Ameriprise Financial Advisor David Barnes today at 956-772-4200.
A stellar reputation and trust. Man, it takes a lifetime to build on that and to keep it as well. Think about it. Something happens, it all comes crumbling down, doesn't it? And some people will never forgive you for that. Trust and a stellar reputation, you got to work hard all your life to build that. And that's the story of my friend Dale Johnson and DLJ Commercial Roofing, who now wants everybody to know, because he's had conversations for months and months and months with the folks at Chamberlain Roofing and Waterproofing, and it is that company, that new company here in South Texas, that Dale Johnson has locked arms with, Chamberlain Roofing and Waterproofing, taking my friend Dale Johnson's legacy to the stratosphere, to the next level. Expanded services, cutting edge technology, more services, more advanced waterproofing solutions, advanced and greater opportunities for warranties as well. 125 plus years of experience. Chamberlain Roofing and Waterproofing for your business and for your house as well. The website, chamberlainltd.com. Start a conversation today at 956-566-6822. That's Chamberlain Roofing and Waterproofing.
Hey, it's Ramsey from South Texas Comic-Con, and we have a huge celebrity lineup this year, including comedy superstar Fluffy, TV legend David Hasselhoff, actress Juliette Lewis, Richard Dean Anderson from MacGyver, rock icon Dee Snider, Marvel artist Mark Bagley, the creator of Carnage, the voices of Rick and Morty and Chainsaw Man, and guests from Sons of Anarchy, Mayan, Star Wars, Star Trek, Stargate, Diary of a Wimpy Kid, Breaking Bad, The Wedding Singer, and so much more. So come and meet celebrities at Comic-Con. It's April 25th through the 27th at the McAllen Convention Center.
This is the story of the one who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. Which is why, when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Grainger. With easy access to 1 million+ products and the scale to deliver when and where you need them. The right tools and supplies are never far away. So the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Coming up after the Valley's Morning News, stay tuned for The Sergio Show with Sergio Sanchez, starting at 9, followed by The Dana Show with Dana Lash at 11 on News Talk 710 KURV, KURV.com, and on the Radio Potterme app.
The 710 KURV Sports Desk is brought to you by Dr. T's Primary Care for Men and Women.
The Mavs handled the Kings 120-106 and really showed that defense is a priority. And even Clay got some redemption, having a near-flawless night, going 8 of 11 from the field for 23 points.
Meanwhile, the Mavs this quarter, 5 of 6 from 3. Williams has 2 triples. Thompson with his 4th. Klay Thompson catching fire back here.
Mavs will face the Grizzlies tomorrow night at 8:30. Stars got their veteran line back with Sagan in the mix and showed off the goods.
Duchesne for Marchman. Scores! What a perfect script. 16 seconds. The trio's back. And they're back with a force.
Stars start the playoffs Saturday versus the Avalanche. The Rangers get the W last night 3-1, and the Astros fall to the Cardinals 1-5. I'm Trevor Beck with your TSN Sports Minute.
Tyler Hero led all scorers with 38 to help the Heat torch the Bulls. We'll play the Hawks for the 8th and final playoff spot in the East. On the ice, the Canadiens heading back to the Stanley Cup playoffs after beating the Hurricanes to clinch the second wildcard spot in the East. We'll face the Capitals in the first round. That's sports. I'm Ronza Moss.
AccuWeather says highs for today should be mid-90s. Copy paste for tomorrow. Rather windy today. Saturday, mid-90s. And upper 80s for Sunday. We start the morning, low 70s across the area. The Border Bridge wait time, it's about 35 to 45 minutes at B&M and Gateway and Veterans. And for McAllen, not too bad, about 15 to 20 minutes on San Luis and at Far. You're in tune with the Valley's Morning News on News Talk 710 KURV. With some business news, check of your money. Up next, join us at Radio Para Mi. Download that free app, listen on your smartphone, do the rewind at Radio Para Mi.
Easter is a time when we celebrate the resurrection of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. He is the image of the invisible God, the King of Kings and Lord of Lords. The Bible says that without the shedding of blood, there is no forgiveness of sin. Therefore, God offered his Son as a perfect sacrifice, as full payment for our sins. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, so that whosoever believes in him shall not perish, but have eternal life. Trust in him as full payment for your sins today.
At Rivetta's Machinery in Donna, they're bringing the best deals on Coyote equipment to your job site, your farm, or your backyard. Right now, take advantage of 0% interest or up to $6,000 cash back on Coyote track loaders and skid steers. These are machines built for maximum performance no matter the task. But don't stop there. They're also offering fantastic savings on Coyote tractors, zero-turn mowers, and utility vehicles. And whether you're hauling something, mowing, tackling other big jobs, Coyote has the equipment to help you get it done. If you're looking for great deals and great service from a team that treats you like family, look no further than Rivetta's Machinery and Coyote. Start your next project right. Visit Rivetta's Machinery in Donna or browse their deals when it suits you at mynewtractor.com. That's their website, mynewtractor.com. Rivetta's for the long haul. See dealer for full details.
The City of McAllen is thrilled to offer your business an opportunity to apply for a matching grant of up to $15,000. The Refresh 50/50 grant was designed with your business in mind. Apply for the Refresh 50/50 grant to upgrade your storefront with improvements like new paint, signage, landscaping, art, lights, doors, and more. Take advantage of this amazing opportunity and apply today at www.refresh5050.com. The Refresh 50/50 grant is brought to you by the City of McAllen. Hablamos Español.
If you're looking to improve your overall health and have a better quality of life, Dr. T's Primary Care is the place to go. If you feel tired or stressed or less motivated, if you're moody or if you have trouble sleeping, Dr. T's Primary Care will evaluate you and work with you to address your health concerns, including testosterone or menopause treatment, peptide treatment, IV vitamin infusions. Their licensed staff will take the time to listen to you and work with you to improve your overall health. Check out the website, drtsprimarycare.com. Give them a call in McAllen at 956-803-0058 and Harlingen, 956-368-5247.
710 KURV. Streaming live at KURV.com. Powered by Texas Mutual Workers Compensation Insurance. A policyholder-owned company. Work safe, Texas.
I'm Nicole Murray with Your Money Now. President Trump has again called for the Federal Reserve to lower rates and even hinted at the termination of Chair Jerome Powell. His post on Truth Social comes a day after Powell delivered a speech in which he noted that the administration's tariffs put the central bank in a tricky spot as it decides whether to tame inflation or boost growth. The number of canceled sailings of freight vessels out of China is picking up as ocean carriers attempt to manage a pullback in orders due to the trade war and tariffs. A steep decline in containers being shipped to the U.S. will have a big impact on the supply chain from port to trucking, rail, and warehouse economics. TSMC's reported net income increased just over 60% from a year ago, while net revenue in the March quarter rose more than 41%. The company faces headwinds from the trade policy of President Trump, who has placed broad trade tariffs on Taiwan and stricter export controls on TSMC clients NVIDIA and AMD. Futures are mixed. That's your money now.
Yeah, and I need to give you a heads up if you're planning a trip to Puerto Rico. Massive power outage, second one in months for Puerto Rico. They're trying to get the lights back on that island. AccuWeather says highs for today, mid-90s, same thing for tomorrow. This is the Valley's Morning News. Coming up in about 4 minutes, movie mom Nell Minow. We'll see if there's anything good at the box office and online. This is the Valley's Morning News on News Talk 710 KURV. Join us at Radio Para Mi, the free app.
Spotlight on Your Health. Brought to you by DHR Health.
From the DHR Health Heart Institute, our guest today is Dr. Francis Dimtree.
I'm very impressed. Pretty much got every aspect of cardiology covered, anything that is needed. But at the same time, we also work closely with a heart failure specialist that does come to the RGV, and they're out of the San Antonio area. So they always provide us with a lot of help and feedback to get things done. CT calcium scores. What that helps to determine is how high risk are you for coronary artery disease, meaning blockages, atherosclerosis that's kind of building up, clogging that pipeline that feeds the blood to your heart. And it's a great chance for people, especially that are cardiovascular risk, that are diabetic, high cholesterol, high blood pressure, overweight. It's usually recommended for men over 45 and women over 40 to be screened at that point if they're concerned about their heart. And what it really assesses is how much plaque is starting to build up into your arteries with time as they calcify. That's what we're looking at. And it kind of lets us know, is this a chronic issue that needs to be addressed? And at that point, we can make the clinical judgments on medications you should probably be on to prevent it from getting old. And if we want to go the invasive route here at DHR Health, a lot of times we do is we follow that. If your risks are really high, especially if you're symptomatic, we'll follow it with coronary CT, or where we kind of try to assess the perfusion and see, is the heart getting adequate oxygen and getting the adequate blood flow it needs to function and survive. And if that's not the case, we will see that and then lead you to the next procedure, which is usually a coronary angiogram, where we do an actually invasive procedure and go to the heart and treat it.
From the DHR Health Heart Institute, cardiologist Dr. Francis Dimtree, DHR Health.
This has been Spotlight on Your Health. Brought to you by DHR Health. For you, for life.
I got a phone call yesterday around noon, and I was at the gym at the time. They called me twice, and I called back, and they told me, you won $1,000, and I didn't believe it. I actually had to call my bank, and I called customer service and everything, and then they also confirmed that it's true that I won, and that's why I love Lone Star National Bank.
Swipe, win, repeat. For every 35 debit card swipes, our customers have a chance at winning $1,000 every quarter. Make the switch to LSNB. Start swiping today.
Information on your town and your community.
The Valley's Morning News.
News Talk 710 KURV.
Happy Thursday. Welcome to the Valley's Morning News. Along with show producer Fred Cruz, I'm Sergio Sanchez. We got AccuWeather meteorologist Jeffrey Nordine and movie mom Nell Minow on standby. We got a long weekend ahead. See if there's anything good at the box office. News on 710 KURV, a service of Edinburgh CISD along with UTRGV. Currently enrolling freshmen and sophomore students. For more information, call 956-289-2300.
News, I'm Gianna Gelosi. Maryland Democrat Senator Chris Van Hollen traveled to El Salvador to advocate for the release of Kilmar Abrego Garcia. The Trump administration defending his deportation, insisting he's a gang member, and
Abrego Garcia's wife petitioned for an order of protection against him for 2 instances of domestic violence.
White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt, Italy's prime minister is going to meet with President Trump at the White House for tariff talks.
The EU today is looking at Prime Minister Meloni as a representative of sorts. She's the first European leader to sit down face-to-face with the president since he implemented and then paused 20% tariffs on European exports. And they do really share a good relationship. So today she's going to be working to preserve that while also seeing if she can sway Trump on a zero-for-zero tariff deal that the European Union is seeking.
That's Fox's Alexandria Hoff. America's listening to Fox News.
15 to the hour on the Valley's Morning News, News Talk 710 KURV, and that $1 billion proposal for some education savings accounts in Texas for only about 100,000 Texas students is moving forward in the Texas House. But Texas voters will not be called to participate to approve this in a referendum come November. On Wednesday, the Republican Texas House shot down a Democrat proposal, an amendment for a referendum on the issue. And the new football program at UTRGV, Milestone, they're playing. So it's a sold-out game, 5,000 tickets. They're playing in Brownsville at Veterans Memorial Stadium, 6 p.m. And I guess they're playing themselves, right, Freddie? It's like, go Vaqueros, beat the Vaqueros. Just don't beat them up too bad. That beat tonight at 6 p.m. And let's see here. That's the first game of their spring practice. It's 14 to the hour. This is the Valley's Morning News on News Talk 710 KURV. And you know what that song means? It's Mom. Movie mom Nell Minow. And I know Mom could see me on video yucking it up and laughing with Freddie because Fred said, hey, when you introduce Mom, can you ask her, hey, all those books behind you, Mom, have you read all those books on the bookshelf?
I'm working on it. I've got one whole wall across the other side of the room that is nothing but books written by my friends and family and myself.
Nice. Very nice, very nice. Did you get any royalties from the books?
Every so often, probably enough to buy a sandwich now and then.
All right. So let's look at the movie theater first. Anything to, a lot of people have a long
weekend. It's Easter, so we don't have a lot happening in theaters. We got some good choices. Probably the big one this week is Sinners from director Ryan Coogler, the guy behind Creed and the Black Panther movies. I love his work. This time he's gone into a different genre that's kind of a mix-up of music and history and violence. It gets very, very violent at the end of the movie. What is better than one Michael B. Jordan? The answer is two Michael B. Jordans. He plays twins in this named Smoke and Stack. They arrive in town with a fistful of cash. They want to set up a nightclub, sort of a juke joint, and things don't go very well for them. But it's fascinating. It is gorgeous to look at. I did mention the two Michael B. Jordans, but also the settings. And the music is terrific. So, yeah, take a look at that if you are not of the faint of heart. If you're looking for something a little more fun this weekend, I really love the animated movie Sneaks, about a pair of sneakers. One of them wants to be kept pristine and displayed as a collectible. The other one wants to go out in the world, have adventures, get scuffed up as a badge of honor. And they get separated and they have to get back together. Wonderful voice talent in this. Anthony Mackie, Captain America, is one of the sneakers. And another shoe, a very high-end stiletto heel with the fabulous voice of Macy Gray, who I just love the way she kind of purrs. So it's exciting, it's fun, it's colorful, it's got music. I loved Sneaks. And then The Wedding Banquet is a comedy with Bowen Yang, one of my favorites from Saturday Night Live, about two gay couples who decide they've got a great solution to both of their problems. One couple the guys have got all the money, and one of them's about to be deported because his student visa has run out. And the lesbian couple wants to have a baby but can't afford the IVF. So they decide that one of the guys is going to marry one of the girls and try to fool grandma. Do not try to fool grandma. She's the best character in the movie. Just like in real life.
Yeah, very quiet in the back seats, not saying much, but you can't.
Yeah, but she gets it all. Okay, speaking of Anthony Mackie, Captain America Brave New World is on streaming this week. And the Looney Tunes movie, The Day the Earth Blew Up. I love those Looney Tune characters. My favorite, of course, Bugs Bunny, but I love them all. Marvin, Martian, love them all. Okay, and coming soon next week, I will be gone. I'll be at a film festival, but The Accountant 2 is coming, and then the Thunderbolts movie, the Marvel movie that sort of is going to kick off the summer movies.
Is that like what, like an anti-hero superhero thing?
I think it's more like, we'll find out, but I think it's more like Junior Avengers. They're going to sort of invoke, bring in a bunch of new characters for us to fall in love with. And remember, nobody knew who Iron Man was a few years ago, so maybe there'll be some good ones.
But they've introduced some of these in other movies, right? Like,
yes, that's right.
They were like,
gave us a little teaser. Yeah.
That thing with Michael A. Jordan and Michael B. Jordan, the smoke and stack thing, Freddie. I think that's a good idea. We need like names for ourselves. Like,
I like it.
Like you and I, Freddie, be like what? Pizza and ranch or something like that, right? All right. Yeah, and because Easter weekend, there are some other family offerings as well. Like there's this cartoon King of Kings that I noticed that's playing locally.
It's a little strange.
Yeah.
You don't see many movies about Jesus that feature Charles Dickens, but okay.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah. Oh, I see. They're probably taking from the storytelling perspective.
Correct.
Scene A, then scene B telling the story.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you got the chosen people as well with the with an offering for the weekend as well. It's here in the menu somewhere.
It's always, you got a lot of time over the weekend. You got time to watch Ben-Hur or King of Kings. Turner Classic Movies has got a lot of great Easter movies this week.
Another 3-hour movie. Yeah. Yeah. Happy Easter, Mom. Be well, be safe. Well, Lord willing, we'll see you in a couple of weeks.
A lot of peeps.
El Minnow every Friday on News Talk 710 KURV.
You know that payment that you send to the mortgage company every month for your house? You budget for it, and you've even got it memorized, that monthly payment. Now, imagine for a second that bill comes in next week, but it's hundreds more than usual. Crushed. You call everybody. You call your mom, the mortgage company, anybody to give you an answer about this obvious mistake. You're on the phone with the mortgage company, and they politely explain to you that your property taxes went up, so your payment went up, as if it's just a normal thing that happens. Well, it does happen all the time. And this is one of those rare cases where you can fight the tax man and win. The people that do this for you are called CAD Tax. CAD Tax will fight for your property taxes to get reduced. And if they can't, you pay nothing. Call CAD Tax now to get your property taxes lowered before your house payment goes up. CAD Tax does all the work and you save all the money. Call 631-SAVE.
CAD Tax, CAD Tax, CAD Tax, CAD Tax.
Listen to Sergio Sanchez every morning on News Talk 710 KURV and on the Radio Parami app. Stay informed with exclusive interviews from top local and state leaders, plus economic development news, business, and medical reports, and all the local news from the RGV. It's everything you need to know to start your day right. Sergio Sanchez and News Talk 710 KURV.